This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for building a cool-looking and professional website.
I want a home in Tuscany, a home with a balcony, a noble apartment with a fresco. It has to have a terrace. I want rolling hills
Definitely
in Tuscany.
something
a home
historical.
next to a cafe.
Peace and tranquility.
Beautiful,
Characteristic
stunning.
stunning.
Trovami la casa più bella del mondo. No matter the type of home you dream of, location is key. Today I'm going to Cortona, Tuscany, without a doubt one of the best locations in Italy. I found two dream homes which I'm dying to show you, and while here I've discovered an amazing restaurant in town with some truly mouth-watering dishes. Andiamo!
Questa è la storia di un cane barbone abbandonato dal suo padrone. Il suo padrone si chiama Roberto e a raccontarvela io mi diverto.
Buongiorno guys, I'm coming to you from Cortona, but not Cortona's city center. I'm here on the hills surrounding Cortona because we're seeing two different types of homes today. We're seeing one which is immersed in this green mountainside and another one within the historical city center. I know when people look for dream homes in Italy, lots of people look for lots of different things, right? Some are looking for that peace and tranquility, the landscapes, this beautiful Tuscan air, and others are looking for more of that medieval town experience, right? Well, I'm here at what's called Le Celle. This is a monastery built by someone else who was searching for peace and tranquility 800 years ago. St. Francis, this is the first monastery he actually built.
And the second home we'll see is right down the stream from this amazing spot. But for now, let's head into the iconic city center. Cortona is located in Tuscany, in the province of Arezzo, not far from said city, but also right down the road from the region of Umbria. If you've been following me for a while now, you know I love this city, and have explored it before. It's gained worldwide fame as the setting for the book and film Under the Tuscan Sun. It has a lively and elegant medieval town center which, as you'd expect, is a pleasure to explore, or just to hang out in. Instead of showing you the main piazza, I'll explore some other corners of town today. We'll start by entering in via the less traversed and ancient Porta Colonia.
So Cortona is said to be one of the oldest cities in Italy, built even before the Etruscans. So the Etruscans became before the Romans, and then the Romans left. And I'm always fascinated by stones. And so the biggest stones here are part of these Etruscan walls, which were probably built around 700 years before the Romans got here. But just really fascinating rocks around here.
The square I'm exploring today is Piazza Luca Signorelli, named after the famous Renaissance painter whose masterpiece we recently saw in the Cathedral of Orvieto. It's a charming square dominated by two buildings. First, the imposing Palazzo Casali. Though its current appearance is clearly Renaissance in character, it was actually built in the 13th century. It is now a famous museum dedicated to the Etruscans. The second building is the theater. It's directly in front of the spot I've chosen for lunch. So the name Cortona also derives from the Etruscan curtun, which is actually attested to in inscriptions found in and around the town. But according to legend, and recounted by Virgil, it would have been founded by Dardanus, the Trojan hero who lost his helmet on this hill. Helmet in Greek is koris, and the name of the city would have been Korito. Now it's Cortona. When you wander through Cortona, beauty presents itself wherever you navigate. It's a great experience. The same applies to any website built with Squarespace, today's sponsor and my favorite website building platform. Squarespace makes it easy to create a professional, visually stunning website even if you're building one for the very first time. There are plenty of great templates available, so finding a layout that suits your project or business is incredibly simple. The designs feel modern and eye-catching while still being practical and user-friendly. Customizing your site is also very straightforward. Even someone who isn't particularly tech-savvy like me can handle it. Contact forms, portfolios, and even fully functional online stores can be set up in just a few clicks. From there, you can adjust fonts, color schemes, and images in every section so everything reflects your personal style. So head over to squarespace.com/JustDreamItaly to try it out for free. And when you're ready to launch your website or register your domain, use my code JustDreamItaly to get 10% off your purchase.
Virgola, virgola, con le orecchie a sventola. Era il cane di un bambino di città. Mangiava sedano, fegato, riso con...
All right, as is custom before viewing dream homes, we're going to fill our bellies, get something to eat. We're in the heart of Cortona still, and we're eating at a typical restaurant in the piazza right in front of the theater, Teatro Signorelli, and I've chosen it because walked by, saw the menu. It's called Nessun Dorma, and so if you're an opera lover like I am, you know what aria that refers to. But the menu looks spectacular. It has gluten-free options, has vegetarian options. I'll see what inspires me. This is our first dish, an antipasto. It is cavolo nero, so the typical dark Tuscan kale, let's call it, with a fontina cheese, and they have this really nice crostone above it. I believe there's some pancetta as well. So I believe it is a fatty sausage, and it blends perfectly well with the cabbage taste. It's always good to have a bit of vegetables with every meal, right?
Allora, c'è dentro la robiola, il miele e il pepe e sopra c'è il tartufo, ti ha messo il bianchetto anche a te.
E questa riduzione di...
Questo è burro al tartufo che facciamo noi
Ah, ok.
e basta.
So this type of filled pasta has a type of cheese inside called robiola. Robiola is kind of a type of cream cheese. And also the texture of the pasta is interesting as well. It's called spiga. It's very similar to culurgiones, I think they're called in Sardinia. The spiga is almost like a grain of wheat, and so that's the shape that it's in. This is really, really good. So today I decided to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing a primo and a secondo, secondo is normally fish, meat. I decided to do two first dishes, so pasta and then the risotto. Why did I do that? Because I don't feel like eating meat today. However, I saw the risotto on the menu and I couldn't decide between the pasta and risotto, and so I said, let me just get both. Let's call it a guilty pleasure. So saffron is a very, very delicate taste. And so you wouldn't want to eat this type of risotto with anything too strong. And so the amount of cheese on it, I think, is just right. Artichoke isn't a very strong flavor, but it gives a little hint of a vegetable to it. So very delicious rice dish.
So I'm coming down from the main square, the main piazza of Cortona, which is right up this way. This is the top floor of this palazzo, historical palazzo, originally from the 13th century, remade in a Baroque style in the 16th century. We're gonna go up to the top, so it's on the second floor. The total square meterage, let's say, is 200 square meters, 3 bedrooms, beautiful views, of course, but also beautiful noble characteristics. Asking price is 600,000 euros. Let's go up. All right, so we've made it to the second floor of this beautiful palazzo. This is what's called a noble apartment because it belonged to an aristocratic family for generations, and therefore what we'll see during this tour reflects the noble characteristics that the family wanted to portray with this type of residential property. So it's 3 bedrooms, around 200 square meters, and we're starting off in this living room. Now what you'll see in this living room immediately is the stucco work going all around the walls. These represent busts, historical busts of figures, but also Greek and Roman goddesses.
We have a fireplace here on this middle wall, beautiful chandelier, and also fresco. So it's not only stuccoed, but it's also frescoed. Here on this facing part of the wall, we have windows. This will be the same views that we have all throughout the property on this side, and so I'll flash those and show you what it looks like down there. But let's go to the next part of the property. So this is the foyer, the corridor going down. We'll have access to the 3 bedrooms down here. Of note here is how the floor changes. So this is called cotto. There we have the original cotto. This is a different geometrical design to it, also very beautiful. This is a very rare, I must say, to see in properties. Just a beautiful, beautiful texture that it adds to the space. This is bedroom number 1 that we've made it in now. Once again, beautiful frescoes on the ceilings. These are in 2 panels. We have the beam going through the middle, and these are portraying those normal bucolic natural scenes of birds flying around in the sky. So you look up in your bed and you're looking at the sky and rondini, right? So birds. So the frescoes throughout the apartment are from the 1700s, and they've been masterfully renovated and maintained. So the last renovation was in 2005, very recent, and it was done in such a way to respect the historical character of the property. And this brings us into the biggest bedroom. This is what's called the camera matrimoniale, so the master bedroom, that's it, the master bedroom. And being the master bedroom, it has the most glorious frescoes on this ceiling. This is a sort of pavilion-shaped ceiling, so it's going up in an arch meeting at a single point with these arches going along the side, very much so in a Baroque style. So this palazzo, this apartment was made to be a residence in that Baroque period. That would be the period in time where you would listen to, you know, like Bach, Vivaldi, where everything was about flourishes, about embellishments. And so this kind of shows that excessive embellishment, which is so characteristic of that Baroque style. We'll see on the ceilings there are beautiful frescoes of gods, goddesses, but also animals and other themes. So just a beautiful master bedroom. We have beautiful curtains on the wall, which are still from that period. Also the curtain holders in this kind of golden color holding them up. So really just a regal kind of room. So we're in the last main room on this side of the property. We're in the kitchen. Kitchen/dining room, and you can see the ceilings on this room as well are similar to the ones that we saw in the other one. The frescoes are beautiful, not as embellished as they were on the last one, but this room has an interesting shape because we have a diagonal wall providing a sort of L-shape ceiling. I think it renders the space very interesting. But also, because we're at the angle of the property, we have 3 windows letting in lots of light. So this is the most luminous room of the property, being on the corner. From here we have beautiful views onto the rooftops. You can see the terracotta tiles, rooftop tiles on the other properties, just very, very charming. The kitchen, so this is the kitchen, stovetop, gas stovetop. We have an oven, and the cabinets are really nice as well because during the renovation, they didn't take out the old cabinets and put in brand new ones. These are the old cabinets, and they've been repainted, and they have even a sort of a fresco on them as well. So very nice. The space hasn't been denatured at all. So a very cute kitchen area. To note is that we have air conditioning and heating in all of the spaces. And that brings us to this end of the hallway, the last part of the property. Here we have 2 bathrooms. So bathroom number 1, bathroom number 2. This one is the smaller of the 2 bathrooms. You can see they've been renovated as well during the most recent renovation, with a shower, with a toilet, with a sink on this one. And then this one is interesting because we have what is the continuation of that high arch ceiling on the top of the bathroom, kind of making the space just charming. So this is a more charming high ceiling bathroom as well. And this is the chicca. So this is the cherry on top of the cake of this property. A surprising space. So this is the private chapel of this apartment. Obviously, being an old aristocratic apartment, you would have a private chapel, like you would see sometimes in Casali and Masserie. They all have private chapels where you would have private ceremonies, and this is still a consecrated chapel. You can see it's still very much, let's say, decked out, but just beautiful details here on the ceilings, these frescoes, on this mini altar as well. It just really breathes the Baroque. This is history at its finest. I think this is like an Italian, a noble Italian residence at its finest. Just places like this you don't find very often. All right, so we've made it to the second home. We're on a slope coming down outside of Cortona in this highly wooded area in a sort of forest, an enchanted forest, let's call it, with a stream running down from the mountain. This is just a really beautiful, idyllic place. We're less than a kilometer downhill from Le Celle, so it's a hermitage. It's called the Celle. It's something that St. Francis set up 800 years ago, so we're in this territory of St. Francis, and it has just lots of historical significance, and so it's chosen as an area of peace and tranquility, and I think that this is the theme and the sensation that this property transmits. So we're going to start on the outside and make our way on the inside, and I'll show you a little bit about it. It's a mill, so it's a stone mill, obviously, and we're right on this beautiful stream. So let's start walking this way. So we'll be starting on the outside, then I'll take you on the inside. The outside terrain that's included in the sale of the property is 8,500 square meters. So it's a significant amount of a parcel of terrain that's being sold with it, and it's highly wooded. However, a piece of it is olive grove as well. Right now we're over this bridge, so this beautiful arch bridge from which we have flowing on either side this beautiful stream, and here we have lots of white noise. We have the sounds of the forest, of birds twerping, and just a beautiful idyllic location. So we'll come back this way. This is the home, so this is obviously the property. You can see that the entire facade is made in stone bricks, and it's just a very historical property. The asking price of the property, so everything, the home, which is of these 4 floors, and all of the terrain is 700,000 euros. But let's go in. So we're not in the property yet. This is just the view coming from the outside. The property is fenced all around, or if it's not a fence, it's a river or a cliff. But this is where the property starts. We have this fencing going all the way around. There are other properties up around here, so it is kind of a neighborhood for people who are searching for that tranquility and peace of the forest around Cortona. Main gateway, so you have your private parking here. This is where the terrain starts, right? So we have property here, and then the terrain that goes all the way around. I think what I'll do is start showing you the inside of the property, then we'll come back out. The top portion of it is already finished. There is a floor that still has to be renovated. But this first part, this is a sleeping area, and which normally you would access from the downstairs, but I think it makes sense in this tour to show it from the top going down and then show you the rest of the terrain. So come this way. You can see the stonemasonry of the property is just, this is amazing, right? This is just so much work to put stone upon stone, cement it all, and build these kind of stairs going up, stairs going down, that just blend in so well with the forest. This is cast iron rails, and we can see just the detail with which the property has been renovated. So beautiful wood shutters. We have this stone windows going around. This is double pane glass, and of course the revealed facade of the stones here. We'll go inside. I think you'll find it very charming. So this is bedroom number 1, let's say the bedroom at the top of the tower. You can see the apartment has heating, so if you're here during the winter, these kind of cooler months, you will be warm. Everything is in this kind of wood or stone
elements. So everything is composed of wood and stone. Even these beautiful windows, these sills, you can see there are these beams on top of the sills that are, this is like brand new wood, but painted to be the same color as the rest of the windows. So you have this sill here and the top part along the arch. Really beautiful. You'll see the attention to detail in these renovated spaces, I think, is very evident. So come this way. This is the bathroom for the upstairs bedroom. Here we have another window, but I did want to show you that when you're on the upstairs floor and you're sleeping, we have a bathroom. So bathtub, toilet, bidet, sink, and behind me is a shower. So it's a full bathroom here and a bit of storage space. So if you put shelves here, I think that would work. We'll come down the stairs. Just watch your step. You can see the stairs are very solid, and even the railings that are done here, it's in very good hardwood. So the materials used, let's say, are of quality. So here you'll see this is kind of the living room area. You do have attachments for water though. And in this living room area we have a fireplace. It's a very nice angled fireplace. Perhaps you can put, this is more of like an entryway, I think, like a receiving space more than the main living room. But still, you know, very useful. We have closet space right here. And this would be a second bedroom, perhaps, the small bedroom, or just another kind of entryway leading into the next bathroom. So this is the door that leads out to the lower floor of the terrain that we kind of came onto. But here is interesting because if you pull around this way, you can see revealed stone on this wall, wooden support beams on top of the doors like we saw in the windows, and cotto floors, so the typical kind of brick, tile, Tuscan, Umbrian floors. Here we have another bathroom. So we have the heating rail on the wall. It's a complete bathroom. It's actually storage space that goes in quite significantly here. So a nice bathroom. And then coming around back this way, I want to show you, I think, the highlight space of the interior. And that is this here. So beautiful high wooden doors. You can see kind of just like the oldness of them with the key, with this lock. We open it up. And this is something special. So you come up a couple of steps, and this is really kind of forest, hermitage vibes, just peace and tranquility. Wood, and this is wooden beams with the wooden planks on the ceiling. All of the walls are revealed stone and the cotto floor. So this is just kind of like typical Tuscanness out in the wilderness. So it's like a wilderness property, right? And of course, the centerpiece of this living room is this gigantic fireplace. And this is the centerpiece of the home, I think. The amount of charm that this exudes is spectacular. So I can imagine, you know, heating this up with wood here in the winter months, kind of everybody around on a sofa. This is just comfy vibes. So definitely my favorite room of the property. As you can see, we have stairs going up. We'll see this in a bit. But there's also, this gets covered by a wooden board at the moment. This is for stairs that would be installed to go downstairs, because on the downstairs floor, that's something that still has to be renovated. And I forgot to show you guys, the fireplace, run back over here, is very old. I think that's a 7, not a 1, 79. So 1879, this fireplace. So that's how old this house is as well, I'm assuming, as the fireplace would always be here. So we'll go back this way. I'll take you up the stairs. As you can see, new wooden stairs, the elements are all there. And when you start walking up, you can see how high the ceilings are and how beautiful the ceilings are here. So this is the second night area. When you come up, there's really, really beautiful lodge vibes here. And you have this kind of entryway foyer. Turn this corner, and this is where you have bedroom number 2 of the property here. The ceilings are slanted because we're up at the top. So the revealed beams, beautiful views here. You can open up your windows and you hear the stream out there. So you can see all of the electrical switches, the outlets are all set up already. So you put the bed in the middle, you can charge your phones. It's an old home, but it's been renovated with modern amenities in mind. On this side of the property, we have, on this side of the floor rather, we have the big bedroom, big bathroom on this area. So a nice little jacuzzi hot tub, bidet, toilet, another window looking out into the entry that way that we came into, and 2 sinks here, and the other bedroom. So you can still kind of smell the wood because it's been so newly renovated. This is also nice because it has these old shelves which they've maintained, and these wooden elements, structural elements on the walls. And here I've left the window open because you kind of get this white noise of the stream being let in. So very nice. We'll go back downstairs because now I'm going to show you the terrain, which we haven't seen yet, and then the rest of the downstairs space, which I said the fireplace was the highlight of the property. I don't know if it is. At least of the interior that's been renovated, it is, but of the rest of the property, perhaps not. So there is a surprise at the end. Let's go back out. Okay, so we have this nice covered veranda as we come out, this little patio space. Now, of course, we had the driveway going up along here, but what I want to show you is the terrain from this direction. So once again, beautiful patio down here. We'll make our way down that way. We do have to kind of walk through a bit of dirt. But like I said, the terrain is 8,500 square meters, so it's a significant amount of terrain. And the characteristic of it is that it's wooded, but not only. We have various wells on the property. So this is one of the wells. Almost looks like a trullo, but it's not. So we have a storage space in the bottom and the rounded well here at the top. You would think it's an ancient well, but the actual structure is probably only about 30 years old, but it has an old style to it, right? And it fits in really, really well with the environment that it's in. So this would be kind of more of the driveway coming in. You can see actually the plants, the gardening has been done very well and has been maintaining the landscape to a very high degree of quality gardening standards. Walking around this way, it's cloudy, but it's actually a bit sunny at the same time. So walking this way, we have olive grove. So we're in the middle of a forest, but you have your own olive trees and plenty, enough that you can make your own olive oil for sure. So you harvest it in the fall, you take them to the local mill. This home was a mill. I don't know if it was an olive mill, it was probably more of a wheat mill. But you take these to the mill, the local mill, and they'll turn it into olive oil for you. So plenty of olive trees here. There's also the possibility, this isn't always the case, but here it is the case where you can build a pool. Now on a less foggier day, you can actually see Cortona. And so what you would have here is a pool, and you're in your pool in the middle of the forest, actually listening to the stream, looking up to kind of the wooded areas around Cortona. So just really a spectacular natural location, just really beautiful. Coming back down here, and this is really just like a unique aspect of this area in Italy, right? So I know a lot of people who watch the videos who are considering buying homes in Italy are always thinking, oh, where should I look for a home in Italy? Because you can look down south, you can look up north. And one of the unique characteristics of Umbria and this part of Tuscany is that it's called the green heart of Italy. And that means it's the lung, right, that breathes fresh air into the rest of the peninsula. And it's for this reason. It's because it's highly wooded. It's still kind of savage, how do you call it, like wild. So it's still wild, selvaggio. And you actually have wild animals around. So you just have wild boars, which is why you have so much like wild boar sausage and wild boar dishes here, and a bit of hunting. Not on this property, of course, but I mean in the area in general. And so it is still like a wilded area. And that's just so nice for the quality of life and for the quality of air that you're breathing in. So I'll bring you back down. Well, let's focus on the inside part of the property here.
So you do have a bit of a slant going down, a slope. And you can see we have another level of this lodge. So we were just up here before. Of course, I could have walked down these stairs, but I decided to get my shoes dirty. And you can just see the facade work has been impeccable on this property, right? Stone, wooden shutters. Now this is the part of the property that still has to be renovated. So I can give you a quick glimpse at it. So this is where you would have the kitchen right under this arch. And there's attachments here already for this, and kind of the dining room. So you'd have the dining room, kitchen here, and under here, this is where those stairs would be coming down from what we saw above. So this is part of the property which you can still kind of put your own imprint on. It's being sold as is, and so you would inherit this floor as is. But you can see the impianti, the systems have already been put in place, so that includes the heating, that includes the water attachments, the electricity is already there. So it's really, I think, superficial, whatever has to be done now. Come back out because we have the highlight at the end of the video, right? So this is an old water mill because we're on the stream, and because of that, we have the remnants of the water mill on the inside. So I'll walk around the corner here. And even though you're in the middle of the woods, your property is illuminated all around. So you have plenty of lights at night. You know, when it gets dark, you can turn on your lights, and you know where you are. It's still very charming. It's been all charmingly done. So we walk down here, and we're at the base of the property, and I think the highlight of it, right? You're at this natural stream where words aren't necessary. This is fresh water, as fresh as can be. And it's not only like a running stream, there's also areas within the stream where it pools. And so during the summer months, you know, you're escaping the heat, you come down here and you can take a dip into this fresh water to cool yourself down, because it's cool water in the winter. And it's all flowing. It's all flowing, so I'm sure it's potable as well. I haven't been memoed on that aspect, but I'm assuming it is, right? So this is a nice little area. You can see it's an area where you can make your own little bonfire, where you can hang out. So just really a precious space. This is the facade. So let's finish up with the facade here. This is where the actual mill was. So it's dark inside here. It's part of the space where you can, you know, add value to it by illuminating it and whatnot. But this is the old mill. You can see there in the back, there's a little hole where, you know, I assume water would have been let in here, and it would have been rolling kind of around, milling grain and whatnot. And so very historical, right? And there's a couple of mills along this stream of Cortona. We don't know if this is the oldest one or if the other ones of some other properties are older, but you know, this was a useful part of, let's say, the life of the farmers of this area, right? They would have used the mill to grind things, and they use water power, right? It's sustainable resources, sustainable energies. And we're gonna finish off the video here in front of the waterfall. So the owner was kind enough to give us a champagne, and it's a French champagne where you can sit down in front of the waterfall, you have a glass, and you just enjoy life. So guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. Please comment below, what did you think about these two properties, and what did you think about Cortona? Like, subscribe. If you're interested in finding your own home in Italy, write to me, marco@justdreamitaly.com. Me and my team work as buyer's agents, and we'll be glad to help you. And check out my Patreon if you haven't yet, if you like my work on this channel and want to support what I do. Ciao, guys.